And we are live.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Lower Middle East Side Podcast.
Yep.
I'm Christian John. I'm here with my man, M. Dose. Dose, how you feeling?
Woo! Episode dose number 2.
This is your episode, dude. It's numbered after you.
Yes, it is. Yes, indeed.
You're feeling good? You had your coffee?
Oh, yeah. I had my fix of liquid cocaina.
Man, you ready to bring the energy?
Definitely.
That's awesome. For those people listening, Dose has the sweetest personality in the world. This guy is so nice. So I'm curious to know, how do you take your coffee? Do you take it like sweet? Do you take it black? How do you take it?
Black and bitter, like the soul I desire to achieve.
No way. Do you really?
That's so dramatic, right?
Do you really take it like that?
I only drink it black, unfiltered, actually filtered, but unadulterated, pure black.
Really? No sweetener, nothing.
Nothing.
Dude, that's crazy. And I'm like not nearly as sweet as you, and I take it like a milkshake, dude.
You put like 8 creamers and 8 sugars, and you're like, yeah, that's how I like my coffee. I'm like,
yeah, I mean, I would think it would be the opposite, no? That I would take it black and you would take it sweetened.
Well, I think what I do is I cut, you know what I mean, my sweetness with bitterness. That's what I do. That's the balance, guys.
You're balancing your personality,
right?
With so that your coffee is the yin to your personality's yang.
Right.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
Nobody wants too sweet, so I need to cut it with bitterness.
Yeah,
that's what I do with my black coffee.
That's right. Okay, I got you. Not bad.
It's my soul, man.
I never thought of it that way. That's pretty cool. Nice. So you had your coffee, so you're in this, dude. You got the good energy going. You're a ray of sunshine, man. You always are. That's awesome, man. Very cool. Well, we got a lot of things to talk about today, people. A lot of things going on in the world. It is summer. The weather in New York City has been awesome. Really?
Yes.
I think you could attest to that. We were out this weekend. We did a lot, you and I, this past weekend. We were in Brooklyn, and the vibes in Brooklyn were great.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
Yeah, shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to our boy who runs a great bar in where is that? Bay Ridge? Bay
Ridge. They know where it's at. Shout out to Red Oak.
There you go. You want to give the Red Oak, exactly. And what were they doing this week? They had like a cool promotion or some special thing going on?
Right. They were doing like drinks curbside. And just to let you guys know, in New York, that was never a thing. Like, that's cool in Bourbon Street, in Louisiana, right, or New Orleans, or like Vegas. It's like day drinking. You could be out in the streets. But because of the pandemic and what's going on, they're giving an exemption where you could actually legally drink in the streets out in the open. So it's like a party.
And they were doing like hookahs.
Right, hookahs to go.
So people were like, curbside. People were like parallel parked in front of each other, smoking hookahs outside of their driver's seat window.
Right, sipping on the coladas.
Exactly. So that was pretty cool because you're hanging out in your car all Arab, doing your Arab thing from your, Nissan Maxima and stuff, just right in the car, smoking up your shisha. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, Red Oak in Bay Ridge is an awesome, awesome place. And the owners there are really, really good people. So yeah, so we did that. And then later that night, we were hanging out on a boat because we were being too cool for ourselves, which was pretty nice. So we're already kicking the summer off to a pretty good start, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Right?
Curbside party in a boat. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, exactly. The to-go hookahs is a pretty cool thing. A lot of creativity is coming out of this quarantine. I'd say it's squeezing types of creativity that we've never seen. So that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
There's more to talk about though, so I want to get right into it. I had no idea this was going on. People, this is just came on the radar for me. I had no idea for the last however many months. There's been like online parties or whatever you want to call it on this app party. What is it? Houseparty.
Houseparty, yes.
People have been like, relationships have budded. Cross-country relationships, international relationships have budded just because of Houseparty. Have you been on this thing?
I have. I downloaded it because we were doing Zoom, and some people were doing Zoom. Currently, right now, we're doing to Zoom. So shout out to Zoom for for
For
allowing
allowing
us
us
to
to
do this.
have a
Right. For allowing this podcast to happen.
That's right.
Brought to you by Zoom. But yeah, I downloaded Houseparty because FaceTime could only add so much, and not everyone has an iPhone, unfortunately. Um, I think that's a pandemic in its own.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the whole Android iPhone another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I downloaded Houseparty, and the crazy part about Houseparty, and it's scary because you get on, if you don't know how to use it, right? You get on, and all of a sudden people just start popping up, populating. They're just jumping on. It's like you feel like it's an invasion of privacy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
what's going
crazy,
on?
dude. If somebody
Yeah.
popped up in my window, I would throw a rock through the window, hoping to like catch him in the face, dude.
Right.
That's so invasive. Is that not?
Very.
Does that not feel invasive?
It is, and you're like, oh crap! Like all of a sudden, your friend is on. It's like, hey, what's going on, Dose? I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Wait, how did we go from a society where people think it's creepy to FaceTime each other to all of a sudden everybody is pretty much FaceTiming each other
right.
in like chat rooms? I don't get it. That
I
doesn't make
know.
a lot of sense to me, but I hear it's popping off, and I hear like relationships have budded from this thing. People are on this thing until like
marriages, divorces,
already.
already. There were virtual kids involved.
That's crazy, dude. Have you had any crazy experiences so far with Houseparty?
No, I'm just meeting a bunch of different people, reconnecting with people I haven't spoken to in like decades. And yeah, I haven't been on it as often because I'm trying to do things with my life.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
That was like a backhanded shot to those who are in Houseparty.
You know, it's cool. A cool thing I've heard so far. We know a couple of these people actually.
Right.
I think, where are they? Somewhere in Canada. That they met on Houseparty, and they ended up being sort of local to each other. And
right.
So, right.
People who live down the block from each other, like, dude, you lived right here. I didn't even know you existed.
And then they ended up going on an in-person date. I thought that's pretty cute.
Yeah, well, that's the positive thing about it. Where I'm joking. I love when people connect, right? Like connection is important. I think it's just another platform where it's like, hey, it's an easy way to get on. Let's have discussions. Let's meet. It's sort of like going to your local bar, restaurant, conversing, engaging, like meeting people, common friends, all that. So there's definitely good things coming out of it for sure.
What's the latest? Have you heard anything about like the dating apps? I mean, I'm not on those things anymore.
I'm not on it, to be honest. But
yeah, I wonder what's popping, like with the Bumbles and the Tinders and all that.
I'll tell you, a few people have discussed this with me. They're like, "Oh, are you on dating apps?" I'm like, "I'm not." And actually, I'll be honest with you. I was on it a few years ago, and I just feel like, for me at least, this is my experience. Everyone has a different experience. It wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't fruitful in the sense that like you'd have conversations and then they'd be like, and it's like you swipe. And then I have guys who some of my guy friends at work in my old job, they were just literally sitting at work, not even looking. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm swiping. And he's just sitting there swiping.
Oh yeah, well that's what guys do. But like, cause you just want to, girls probably sit there. I don't know what girls do.
So like, I don't like his hair. I don't like this. Left, swipe left. Right.
There were some girls that were so like, cause on their side of things, they could be more picky, right? Cause guys are the hunters.
Guys are the hunters.
Girls are the huntees.
Or hunted. Or hunted.
Yeah. But yeah, guys are the hunters and girls are the hunted. And we know that guys are not always hunting for the right, I don't want to say for the right. I mean, if it's right with you, then whatever. But they're not always hunting for the reasons of marriage, you could say. Some guys are hunting just for...
Right, it's a hookup.
Right, for hookups. Not all guys. Not all guys not all people, I should say, on dating apps are in it for that, are in it just for hooking up. No. But we know that some are. So for guys, they just swipe on everybody, hoping that they're gonna, it's like casting your net far and wide type of approach. But for girls, I've heard that they like to be desired so much that like, for example, with Bumble,
right,
a girl has to initiate talking to the guy, right?
And
they only have 24 hours to do it, and if they don't, then the match goes away.
Right.
But a guy has an option to choose out of like, I don't know what, I can't remember this, so this might sound wrong, or I might be explaining this wrong or hazy,
Right.
might be hazy on this, that he could choose of like all his matches or something like that, one person to extend the 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
So
You
I
choose
met
to
a
extend.
girl who was like, unless he chooses to extend the 24 hours, like he's that into me,
Right.
I won't. That's when he
Give him
has to
time of
extend
day.
the 24 hours in order for me. And I'm like, oh my, how narcissistic is that you do? I forgot who said this to me, but I'm like,
Right. If he doesn't spend an extra
come
two ninety
on,
nine
dude.
on me, then I'm not giving him time of day.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, how drunk with power are you from Bumble?
That's
That
crazy.
yeah, but you know what? If I was in their position, I'd be exactly the same way. I think that's hilarious to
Right.
be like that. But I'm not gonna lie. I used to swipe on all whatever because it's easy to just you don't
I get
care,
it.
and then at the end you want that's
No,
what guys.
listen, I get it, but I think also it perpetuates like the vicious cycle of like guys who are just like indiscriminately just swiping, right? Not being deliberate about who they're choosing. And then these girls get excited. They're like, oh, he likes me. And then he's like, oh, I don't like her. Unmatch, unmatch, unmatch.
That's exactly what you do. Yeah, I mean, I was told to swipe on every when I first got on these things. This
Right.
was like I think 2017.
Mm.
That's what I was told to do it like that.
Just
My
swipe, swipe,
friends told
swipe,
me
swipe.
just swipe. I can't remember. Right is good.
I think right is good.
Right is good.
Rule of
You
thumb,
swipe
right is good, left is bad.
left is bad.
Righty
So,
tighty, lefty loosey.
yeah, you swipe
There's
right
wisdom in that.
on everybody, and then exactly, and then you unmatch the ones that you don't like. That's what I was told, and I realized that was stupid. Anyway, you end up. I think they punish that kind of behavior.
They do. They
They
do.
they they take your when they see that you
Your
do
credit
that.
score actually lowers a few
Yeah,
points. Your social credit score.
they mess with your little circle picture, and they just make you ugly.
Right.
Um, yeah,
your
so I think
your
they
Uber ratings go down.
yeah, your Uber ratings go down. We could do a million of these. Um, yeah, but I think they take your card and they put it at the bottom of the pile, and then you're like not shown for like weeks, something like that.
Oh,
I'm not.
geez.
Yeah.
But besides that, I heard the new trend that everyone's raving and ranting about that I have not been on personally is Hinge, because they feel like Hinge is more like organic and it's not just matching by pictures, it's matching by personality type questions or traits. And I'm like, I don't
Don't
know.
they
I
all
haven't
have
been
that?
on it.
I remember. What's it? I was on Plenty of Fish, and Plenty of
Really?
Fish had this elaborate like fill out a person, and I was expecting to come out meeting this, and I ended up meeting like a half horse, half like it was like it couldn't have been
A
further from
centaur of a woman?
yeah, a minotaur exactly. And I was like, dude, like I'm not into horses. I'm into penguins. At least give me the right animal. Um,
But
these jokes are horrible, but that's what you get with live comedy.
that's what you get when you subscribe to us. But
That's right.
I'll tell you this much from the demographic of guys that I knew that were on Plenty of Fish. Unfortunately, I know this seems a little harsh. Plenty of Fish sort of portrayed itself as a cesspool.
Plenty of fish.
Yeah, every
Well,
time
there
like
was a lot going into that cesspool apparently because they were asking you all sorts of personality questions and stuff like that. So it was a very detailed cesspool.
I don't know the experiences that I heard from the guys, and most girls won't actually. I don't think I've had a girl.
What were
Maybe
they doing with that information? They were probably taking it, selling it right to Russia, like our information or something like that. Because
right, some
they
metadata.
clearly were not applying it to our potential significant others.
I think that's what they were doing.
So going back to what we were saying about dating apps and how I remember for me, it was Plenty of Fish. You had to enter your information so that the algorithm matches you with the good person. What do
Right.
you think about how in cultural hubs where it's a small community and everybody knows each other, there's sort of like this protocol for a lot of families that when two people want to get together, one party will sort of do a background check
Right.
on the other party, be it the person's family or that person themselves.
Right. The vetting process is very rigorous. And they go in deep. It's like FBI, CIA tactics, right? They're
Yeah.
going in, and the problem is too, and this I'll mention, is that a lot of people are going in to dig up dirt. Their intention is to find dirt, right? They're
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with this guy? You know
What
what I mean?
the person that they're trying to like if you
Whoever
and
they're
I were trying to get together, I'm searching for, so you're saying you and I are two potential significant others and I'm trying to
right,
dig up dirt on you.
right. They're like, oh, what's up with this the Daily Dose guy,
Right.
right? And just looking into that and be like, ooh, let's dig up some dirt. Oh, this guy doesn't have good credit. Oh, he filed bankruptcy. Oh,
Right.
his mother was a refugee. Oh, his this is all not true. I did not file bankruptcy, not yet.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
um,
So you're saying the intention is not good.
the intention's never good. I feel like when you're going in to do some reconnaissance to find out some things, and I get it, right? You want to be cautious, and take precautions because, essentially you're committing your life to this person, right? Or you're,
Yeah.
I mean, before even getting into marriage, like you're sort of getting into bed with this person. No pun intended.
Right.
Let's
Right.
go to the background check too. Who did they get into bed with, right?
Yeah. Many times it is. Many times, like the community is small enough that you could actually research that.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Yeah. They get down to the nitty gritty, but the point is, it's like the intention is never, I think it comes under like false intentions, not false, negative intentions.
And it takes away, I think it clouds like people's ability to get to know somebody with a clean slate for who they are.
Right. Ideally, that's what we want.
Right. I mean, you want to know that the person has basics, I think, like a basic same worldview, basic
Moral,
compatible
fundamental.
level of, yeah, like do they have like a high school diploma or college degree that they're going to be able to keep up in terms of whatever you like to discuss, your compelling conversations and stuff like that? Because you want to have compatibility, you know,
Definitely.
because that's going to make for good goals in life and stuff. But yeah, like if you're gonna, before you even meet the person or go on to date them, you have to like gather all this background info and get a Carfax and a credit score and all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, come on, dude.
But I feel like that you're also ruining, you're stunting or destroying an opportunity that could have been there, because a lot of people will do all that, right? They'll get all that information, right?
Yeah.
From the aunt of the community, right? Or the yenta. And she's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm inquiring about the Daily Dose. Oh, I heard he did this. I heard his parents did this. And then all of a sudden, this girl is not giving the Daily Dose a chance. She didn't even say hi to him, right? They've never even
Right.
conversed. And now all
Right.
of a sudden, she's like, no, I've already sized them up based on hearsay and gossip. So next, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And this is one of the things that I think turns people away from being part of their own cultural hubs. And then you end up hearing it like, oh, people be like, oh, that's the reason I don't hang out at church, or I don't get involved with the church community, or I don't hang out with, like, I'm sure, Muslim people would say the same thing about like mosques, their own mosques and stuff like that, or people don't get too close to
Right.
people at work, sort of thing. It's not those places. It's not the actual house of worship or the workplace. It's
Or the
just,
community.
gossip. It's just gossip, and gossip turns people away. It just turns people away. It has a repelling effect.
Oh, definitely. Because listen, with gossip comes a sense of rejection, ridicule, scrutiny that's unsolicited, unwanted, right?
Right.
And on top of that, what blows my mind is like any ethnic community, they think that their conditions of gossip, right, or clinginess or ethnocentrism is much more severe than every other group. They're like, no, but us, we are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do this in other groups. I'm like, are you kidding me? Have you hung out in other groups? Have you hung out with other people? And don't get me wrong, there are groups of people that don't practice these things, right? They're
Right.
very carefree, free-spirited, non-judgmental, and we want to be idealists and be like, oh, we want to be like this, and there's a utopia out there that we could all coexist and not judge each other and do
Right.
whatever the hell we want.
Right. False. So you're saying, basically, it doesn't exist. False. to clarify, you're saying the grass is always greener on the other side for people who think that in your cultural community, you think that the gossip is worse than it would be in the other cultural communities. It's not like that. It's the same everywhere you go. We're all the same human beings. Human nature is human nature everywhere you go. So not to be so harsh on your own community. I'd have to agree with that, man. But thankfully, I think, and you'd probably agree with this too, we're getting better. We're evolving. You know, I think our generation is doing a good job overall of correcting some of the ignorance of previous generations. You know,
Definitely.
some of the ignorance of less educated generations that came before us. And it's not to put any blame on them, but that was normal in the context of their culture, or the version, we share the same culture, but of their version of, you know, our culture that came before us. And it's just like that all over the world. It's just progress, you know. You know, America's evolving, and we're all works in progress through dialogue and all of this. We're all coming to accept each other more, understand each other more. And
it's a learning process.
Yeah, it's a learning process. There's a learning curve for everybody. Everybody's at different stages of it, but we move slowly together as a community. There are some casualties and some martyrs on the way, you know, who get victimized, but through their stories of, you know, this person got shunned, or this person got ostracized, or this person whatever, you know, sometimes there's good that comes out of it, and silver linings of, well, we don't want that to happen to the next person, or we don't want this person feeling that way. We should all change our behavior for the better. And you see that as well.
Right.
So it's good. I think overall we're getting better. We're getting smarter. And I know you definitely see that too.
Definitely. Definitely.
You know, you're an awesome leader in the community. So it's good stuff, man. This was great. This was great talking to you once again, as always. I'm really glad you got this opportunity. It's always a pleasure chilling with you, my man.
Always a pleasure. And I love the fact that this episode, like, we were tackling some more serious topics. And we want to continue to do that. Like, we're here to entertain you guys and, of course, crack jokes. And I love that. I'm a big clown myself. I love to laugh. I love to smile and crack jokes. But it's important to talk about things that, like, affect us, you know, like.
Yeah, meaningful things that we're all going through at this point. Everybody's at different stages, but we're all interconnected.
Right.
And it's great. What are you going to do after this? You hitting the beach or what? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I think I'm going to head over to the beach right now.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm going to probably go play basketball, but I'm like at a place in life where I can't just go out there. I got to like take Advil before I go out there at this point.
Advil?
Just to and stretch and all that.
Yeah, once I hit my
30, I can't just go out there without hurting. I gotta like take Advil, stretch. I'm gonna go to CVS and look for like Jordan branded Advil.
Jordan,
trying to improve, Advil with like a Jumpman logo on it.
Air Advil.
Yeah, exactly. Advil 23. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like ever since we hit our 30s, you know, like the Tin Man. Like we just
exactly
tune up, oil up.
Yeah, exactly. Oil up. Exactly.
I need a wheel alignment.
That's what it feels like, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, for those of you guys who are new, this is all new, but for those of you guys just joining us this episode, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do like, comment, subscribe. And if if you like this, the content here, feel free to share this with your friends. My man over here, Dose, has an Instagram handle. It's at the THEE Daily DAILY Dose DOSE. And we also have an Instagram handle for this podcast, which is Lower Middle East Side.
Check us out on the at Lower Middle East Side, and don't forget to follow my very funny brother right here, Christian John Comic, at Christian John Comic. Don't you forget it.
Thanks, my man. Always a pleasure once again. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.
Peace and love from the Lower Middle East Side.
Peace.
Peace.